Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Jack B. Nimble Reads. We are reading a book called Faces of the Moon. Do you wonder, when you see the moon at dusk or dawn or midday noon, just why her face is curved or round, or why she sometimes can't be found? Each month, the moon transforms her face, which grows and shrinks at steady pace. Her changing looks reveal her place in orbit round our globe. See the moon there? And they're able to see it in daytime. Each changing face, or lunar phase, repeats each 9 and 20 days. That's a fancy way of saying 29. From the thin to thick, from dark to light, sometimes in day, sometimes at night. Our mighty sun, with sunbeams bright, shines upon the moon in flight, and paints her shadowed face with light to make the phase we see. And you can see so this one, oh, sorry, there's a glare. This one is half a moon, and there's a crescent, and there's a crescent. For as she orbits Earth in space, the sunlight moves across her face, and from our world beneath the sky, we watch moon change as days go by. From night to night and day to day, she'll wax or grow, then wane away. So wane means decreasing. Waxing means increasing. Waning means decreasing in size. Each phase has earned a name we say as light and shadows change. The moon's first phase, we'll call it new. When moon's between the sun and you, her sunlit side is turned away and we can't see her night or day. She's nowhere to be found. That's a new moon. A new moon rises and sets with the sun. A few days pass, and moon's less shy. Her smile lights the twilight sky. The more her sunlit surface shows, the more moon's waxing crescent grows. So that's what this is called, a waxing crescent. Remember, waxing means getting larger. A waxing crescent moon rises in the mid-morning and sets in mid-evening. So that's why she can see it during the day. We notice moon's first quarter phase around the count of 7 days. Her western half is so brightly lit right down the middle, moon looks split. First quarter moon rises around midday and sets around midnight. Once she's past first quarter, we find her in the afternoon, now waxing gibbous, fat and light. She's nearly round, up late at night. You see her? Waxing gibbous. A waxing gibbous moon rises in the mid-afternoon and sets hours before sunrise. Getting bigger, it's waxing. Next, moon's most famous phase around the count of 14 days. Her monthly orbit's halfway done, and now she's opposite the sun. What is that? What do you think that's called? It's a full moon. Right there. The full moon, big and bright and round, with not a shadow to be found, now rules the heavens all night long and sets upon the break of dawn. Full moon rises at sunset and sets at sunrise. So you'll see this all night long. Now what do you think is going to happen? The moon went from no moon at all, and then it started getting bigger and bigger and bigger. till it got to the full moon. Now what's going to happen? Let's read. Once past full, the shadows start to darken moon's most western part, and later each night she'll embark the waning gibbous moon. Okay, so gibbous is this shape, and waning means that it's getting smaller. Waning gibbous moon rises in the mid-evening and sets shortly after sunrise. What comes next, do you think? Crescent, yeah. At moon's last quarter of her trip, her eastern half is brightly lit. Oh, it's not the crescent yet, sorry. Round midnight hour, she will rise and shine amid the morning skies. So this is a quarter. The last quarter moon rises around midnight and sets around midday. Now comes the crescent. From early dawn, there it is. From early dawn to morning blue, her crescent grin is smiling through. Poised high above the morning dew is waning crescent moon. Remember, waning means getting smaller. Waning crescent moon rises hours before sunrise and sets in the mid-afternoon. Oh, there's no moon. Then moon returns where she begun to hide between the earth and sun, and through this orbit now is done. Next month, she starts anew. As long as we have watched the skies, this nearby world has drawn our eyes in singer's song and poet's rhyme across our globe and throughout time. The moon reminds us of our place, a spinning world in endless space. Each month, her ever-changing face is right outside our door. So every time you spot the moon at dusk or dawn or midday noon, you'll know her by her friendly phase and watch her change through all your days. I'm reading this book in early March of 2025, and if you're watching this recording and it's not March 13th, 2025 yet, you have a chance of watching a lunar eclipse. Now, you don't need any kind of special glasses for a lunar eclipse because what happens is the moon turns blood red. The moon is actually in the shadow of the earth. The earth is blocking out the sun, and you'll see a reddish moon. So coming up on March 13th, 2025 into March 14th, you'll see a lunar eclipse. What's fun about this book is that at the very end, it has moon memo rhymes. And I want to read some to you about the moon size. To know how large the moon is wide, our Earth is 4 moons side by side. So the Earth is bigger than the moon. So you could put 4 moons across the Earth. The moon's distance from the Earth. From Earth to moon, might say a sign, is 30 Earth places in line. So the distance from the Earth to the moon is 30 moons. The moon's orbit. Her orbit is a circled flight that makes the moon's Earth's satellite. So you see, the moon goes around the Earth. The waxing moon. Remember, waxing means getting bigger. Imagine moon a candlestick. Each dip in wax will make it thick. And the waning moon, that means it's getting smaller. Once the moon's wax full of light, she starts to wane or fade from sight. The crescent phase. A crescent shape the moon displays between each new and quarter phase. So that's the crescent moon. The gibbous moon, to put moon's gibbous phase in order, it's less than full, but more than quarter. And the moon's landscape. The moon is rock, both light and dark, but not a hint of cheese. Anothrosite encrusted hills above basalt-filled seas. anorthosite rather, and basalt are two different kinds of rocks that are on the earth, excuse me, on the moon. All right, here we go. I hope you enjoyed Faces of the Moon. And remember, I love you and Jesus loves you too. Thanks for stopping by.